In my work as a qualified sex educator and as a trainee psychosexual therapist, I'm all about destigmatizing shame and, encouraging people to talk about sex and sexuality openly, because I think that just leads to healthier outcomes for everyone, right? But I can appreciate when some people want to have some discretion. And when it comes to sex toys, some of them look very obviously like sex toys, right? Which is great, but it also means that it can be a little bit inconvenient if you're leaving them around the house and you don't necessarily want people to know what it is. And so some companies have started designing toys that can be hidden in plain sight, that don't look so obviously like they're meant to be used for sexual pleasure. And so, you can have it as like a decorative item or just, like a cute ornament and things like that, and people will be none the wiser. So today I am reviewing a new toy that is a website exclusive by Svakom. I have been working with them since 2021. They were actually my first ever brand collaboration. I've been impressed by a good number of their products over the years. In particular, their male masturbators are really great, according to my penis-owning friends and partners. I would have no lived experience of that, obviously, but I've heard very good things. And Svakom are always coming up with new and innovative shapes for their toys. I feel like with all the companies that I've worked with, Svakom is definitely the company where I've seen the most diversity in what their toys look like. Before I get into my review, I want to share that you can get 30% off Svakom products using my code polyphilia30. So that's polyphilia30 for 30% off on Svakom's toys, which is a pretty hefty discount. So check out their range and happy shopping. So today's toy is called the Braceleta, and actually you can already see it. It's on me right now. It's right here. So yes, Svakom has expanded into wearable pleasure jewelry, and this is the necklace form, and it can also be converted into a bracelet, which I will show you imminently when I get this off. So the clasp is on both ends of this. So yeah, it's just kind of like a very simple necklace clasp. You take it off here. And as you can see, this necklace is adjustable. So if you want it to be more of a choker situation, you can kind of adjust the length. It's very easy. It's just, you pull on this and you make it longer or shorter as you want. I prefer it to keep it at the length that it was, but I'm just kind of demonstrating for you that, yeah, you can make it much shorter if you wanted to. And it looks pretty nice kind of like hanging from the back. So this is not the first wearable vibrator that I've seen, but I would definitely say that this is very aesthetically pleasing. Just to kind of show you what it looks like up close. There's like beads kind of on either end. There we go. And then you've got like a symmetrical kind of tubing here. And then you've got this little gem that spins. And this bit is flexible. So this is the vibrator, and it is posable. So yeah, like you can kind of bend it into a lot of different shapes. If you have it as a choker, you can have it pretty snug against your neck. If you want it a bend, like a bit more bendy or a bit more pointy, you can kind of adjust it. I'm gonna turn it on and you will hear what it sounds like. There we go. I'll put it close to my mic. So one thing I will say about this toy is maybe because of the size, it is a bit on the buzzy side. And so I think this is really great as more of a beginner vibrator, but if you already used other vibrators before, this might feel a bit harsh and a bit surface level. So, I think it's like very fun as like a novelty toy. I think that it's obviously very aesthetically pleasing. It's very chic to wear. I think definitely of the wearable vibrators I've seen, like I've definitely enjoyed the look of this the most. I think it looks very elegant, and I think it pairs with a lot of different things. But in terms of how it works as a vibrator, not the best I've seen from this company, I have to say. However, I do enjoy that, like when it's vibrating, the middle gem spins. That's kind of something that I enjoy quite a lot. Just in terms of like hygiene, you can slot it into this little plastic sleeve, and there has like a little hole here for the button. So basically kind of what you would do is you would unclasp it, kind of shove it through this, and then it provides like a bit more kind of protection. You can kind of clean this much more easily. So yeah, like I'm glad that they've had this attention to detail with this toy. So this toy doesn't last very long. It lasts for 18 minutes per charge. Again, I think, they've sacrificed a bit of quality of the toy just for the aesthetic, because, I imagine just like, I'm not even a toy engineer, but you can't fit that much in a toy this small. So yeah, like it's less rumbly than I would like, but it's kind of fun to just have, you know, and to wear, and to tell your friends like, oh, I'm wearing a toy right now on me. Oh, I haven't even shown you the bracelet. So in the box that this comes in, there's also a shorter chain where you can modify this into a bracelet. So here it is. So it's it's also adjustable, very easy to use. You just, you know, clasp it on both ends. Whoop. Just going to do it. Very easy, as you can see. And then you can kind of bend this and, you know, you can put it on and then you can kind of adjust the length as needed. And again, you know, this looks really nice on your hand, and it looks really nice around your neck. So yeah, like I think in terms of like aesthetics and style, full marks from me. But as a sex toy, you know, I think this is more as like a fun novelty than something I will be having on my bedside table regularly. I think it might be fun if you're having a little cheeky night out, you know. I think it's kind of something that you can use kind of discreetly in public perhaps, but yeah, I think it's very dependent on what kind of toys you're already using and what kind of vibrations you're already used to. So like I said, this toy lasts 18 minutes per charge, but when you're actually charging it, the charging time is 80 minutes, so 80. So, you know, you have to charge it for 4 times as long for it to, you know, function, which is not great when normally a lot of toys, you know, they require 1 hour to charge and they last for 2 hours. I would typically not be wanting to charge a toy for that much longer than the time I would want to enjoy it for. However, they have managed to pack a number of modes into this. So this has 5 different intensities. So there's a button on the side here that lights up when it's on. And yeah, there's 5 intensities if you kind of press once. If you, I kind of accidentally pressed it too quickly, but if you press twice, then you change the modes, and there's 10 different patterns. So that's about 50 that you can mix and match, which is not bad for a toy this small. At the moment, the Braceleta only comes in this one color, but I do like it. I think it suits most skin tones. I think that it will match a lot of different colors, this kind of rose gold, beige kind of color. I think it's like very striking as a design. And in terms of how you charge it, that's very easy as well. So on the side where the button is, you simply unscrew this bit. And then it's not your usual magnetic charger where there's kind of 2 pins. There's just 1 pin and you just kind of stick it on there. Oh, and you charge it. But yeah, obviously have it in a more secure place because the thing about magnet chargers is that they can be very easily dislocated. And then once you're done charging, you just, you know, screw it back on. And then it's ready to use again. So overall, you know, I'm really glad that Svakom are expanding into like a more wearable range, but I definitely think that the design of this, I love. I think it would be very exciting if it came in more colors, but I do love the one that they've got right now. I think it looks really great. I think, you know, sometimes like I would see myself like wearing this to a party just to be a bit cheeky, but I think as a vibrator, it definitely needs some improvements. I think it's definitely very buzzy, and the fact that it only lasts for about 20 minutes is, you know, not great. So yeah, I repeat, this is a novelty toy. You can wear it around your neck, you can wear it as a bracelet. I think it's like a cute gift, but it's not something I would be using regularly, I think, compared to the many other toys that exist in Svakom's collection. I've owned a bunch of them over the years. They've got a lot of rabbit toys, kind of dildo vibrators, little love eggs. They've even got kind of larger toys like for penis owners that have like suction and thrusting kind of built in so you don't need to do the work yourself. And a lot of teasing toys as well. They're really great for their teasing toys. In particular, the nymph has like a really, really interesting shape that I think some of you might be entertained by. I would highly recommend that you check out their range, and I'm sure there's something there for everyone. I got more Svakom content coming because they have actually sent me their newest flagship toy, the Clitty, which I have lots of really positive things to say about. So, you know, please don't let this review dissuade you from checking out their collection, and please check out my next review because I really enjoy that one, and I'll be definitely going into lots of detail about why very soon. Once again, as I said at the beginning of the video, it's Polyphilia 30 for 30% off all Svakom products. So feel free to check it out on their website. They ship worldwide, and they've got a range of things. You know, they've got wearables now, they've got internal toys, external toys, masturbators, you know, whatever you can think of, they've probably got it. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.